Greetings, fellow Fright Fiends. It's your buddy BoogeyMan Ben here for a new episode of BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. And this is a video that I wanted to do because I read an article today that really infuriated me, and I really want to talk about this because this is just bullshit. And as we know, what happened last year with the Paramount Pictures Friday the 13th film that was supposed to come out last October, they scrapped it because of the poor box office of the movie Rings, and they said that they felt like Friday the 13th would perform just as poorly as Rings did. Now, Rings was a shitty movie, I admit it right now. Maybe it didn't make as much as they thought it was going to make, but it did turn some profit. But they felt like because of that, and because of the fact that the previous Friday the 13th film that came out in 2009 had such a huge opening to $40 million, and had such a huge drop off the following week, that they didn't want to invest any money in the franchise because they thought it was going to perform poorly, which is horseshit. Friday the 13th is an institution. It's not like the Rings franchise. The Rings franchise will never hold a candle to the Friday the 13th franchise. It has been a huge fucking moneymaker for Paramount Pictures and New Line Cinema. You also have the lawsuit going on right now between Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham over the rights of Friday the 13th. So there's a lot of shit going on right now that is preventing a new film going into production. But Paramount doesn't give a shit. They didn't give a shit when the series initially ran its course after Jason Takes Manhattan in the 80s. That's why they sold the character rights to New Line. And now they still retain the rights to Friday the 13th, which is why none of the New Line Jason films were called Friday the 13th. They did a joint release in 2009 with New Line to do Friday the 13th. But Friday the 13th made a lot of money, even though it did have a huge drop-off, which, yeah, I'll admit to. But the film still made a huge profit. It made, and I wrote it down just so I wouldn't forget it, so it was shot for $19 million. It made $91 million worldwide. That's $65 million it made here in the States, and $26 million that it made overseas. So that's almost $100 million. And I think where a lot of issues came from is that New Line and Paramount had to split the profits from the film, but that's a huge moneymaker. It was shot for under $20 million. It made almost $100 million. So I don't understand what this problem is. The Friday the 13th fan base is just getting bigger every year, as you've seen with the support for independent horror films like Voorhees, which is being made right now, or Never Hike Alone, which was released last year. People want a new Friday the 13th film. Jason merchandise is like the quickest selling merchandise. So for Paramount not to take advantage of the situation is just fucking ridiculous at this point. And I say, fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck New Line. They will never give us what we want. I think Blumhouse is the way to go. Look at what's going on right now with the new Halloween film. You got John Carpenter, Nick Castle, Jamie Lee Curtis. Fucking amazing. It's going to be a great Halloween film. I already know it. I had my skepticism at first, but man, so far I'm really liking what I see. And I think a studio like Blumhouse is the only one that can take the Friday the 13th franchise and give the fans what they've been asking for nearly a decade. I mean, we're going on, it's been 9 years since the reboot came out next week. 9 years. 9 fucking years we've been waiting for a new Friday the 13th film. We need to have this property go somewhere else. And I think Blumhouse is the only place where it can go and be successful. I think they would do a fantastic job, and they would give the fans what they want. A thought in my head is like Adam Green at Ariscope Pictures. Adam Green is a huge Friday the 13th fan, and he's close friends with Kane Hodder and Derek Mears. So, and John Carl Buechler. What if we could get those guys back together? That would be fucking amazing. Kane Hodder and John Carl Buechler. Holy fuck, we could get maybe a true sequel to Part 7, which is what they wanted to do initially. So, I don't know, like I'm just getting frustrated with it. Friday the 13th, as everyone knows, is my favorite horror franchise, and just to read these articles where these fuckers don't give a shit about this property at all. And it's such an easy property. They could make a great movie. Set Jason in the Snow. We wanted that. That was what the original sequel to the 2009 reboot was going to be. So like I said, I just don't get it. But I will put a link down below to the article where everybody can check that out. And let me know what you guys think about this news. I mean, it wasn't shocking to me, but it still just made me a little angry. But I'm just curious what other people think about what Paramount's doing, that they don't care about this franchise, and neither does New Line. And I think it should go to a studio that really would. So Lionsgate is another one I've heard about. You know, you got Lionsgate, you got Blumhouse, you got Ariscope. I think they could do a fantastic Friday the 13th film, especially Blumhouse and Ariscope. Just think either one of those would be fantastic. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And as always, thanks so much for watching BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace.